So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome everybody to the U.S. Legends Open Series right here from Summit Point Raceway. Want to welcome everybody to Evolution Racing Network. My name is Ryan Ezell. So glad to have you here. We are on race number 13 of number 14. So we are almost done with this entire season, and it has been such an incredible season, and these guys have done such a great job of putting on a good show. Look forward to tonight. This will be our final road course, as these guys win next week at Oxford Plains for 125 laps of door-to-door action. We are underway with our 10-minute qualifying session right now, as they have 10 minutes and 2 laps to go out there and put down their best time. Let's go and throw up our Potty Counter Diggers qualifying tower and take a look at their best time so far. Right now we have league owner in the number 6 Rusty Modesty taking the top spot at a minute 24 and 8.89. So this is going to be, road course qualifying is always an art in itself, as these guys have to maneuver through this entire 2-mile track without going off course or touching anything. Sim racing qualifying is so tricky. These guys cannot go off track just at least a little bit. One incident point and it will completely delete their last qualifying lap. So as we were watching Andrew Little come down through the final straightaway to take time, he will take the 4th spot with a 1:25.08. We've got several other guys on the track. We've got Harold Rothery, Harold Watkins, 2 of the front runners tonight, and not to mention the guy that's been up front all season long, even with taking 2 weeks off, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Bean, and the Dale Lives number 28 orange and black intimidating car. He is out there putting down his lap right now, along with Kevin Zabladell in the 17. So we'll go back to your current points leader, Ryan Bean, right now, where he only has a 5-point lead over Rusty Modesty, who currently carries the top spot. But really, when it comes to road course racing, folks, it has nothing to do with where you qualify. Keep all 4 wheels on the track, keep the car clean, and you have a good chance at winning this race. Want to give a couple of shout-outs tonight. First to our presenting sponsor, as you will always see them in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen there, Potter County Diggers. They're unearthing Americana, the history as we know it, artifacts, special coins, historical items from historical places up in Northeast PA. Check them out on YouTube. They have one of those video series that you start watching one for 5-10 seconds. Next thing you know, 3 hours later, you're on video 20. Potter County Diggers over on YouTube under that exact same title. Potter County Diggers, check them out. They've been the elite premier sponsor all night tonight. We've got a stacked field tonight in our second to last race. I want to give a special shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Steve Kerpel, as I know he is probably somewhere up there in the Midwest taking a break, being an over-the-road trucker. Also want to give a special shout out to a few of the other guys that help put all this together, as we have, you know, a 10-minute qualifying session tonight. I'm going to throw up a little grid and show you guys exactly where they are as of right now. I want to give a shout out to Michael Sheffield, the co-owner of this whole thing that we put together here. Craig Burns, Jerry Culver, Trevor Massetti, Steve Kerpel, Jeff Carson. All these guys come together and help us put on all these great series at Evolution Racing. I look at US Legends Open Series as an extension of that, because most of these guys run with me week in and week out. It's absolutely like a family. I love watching these guys run week in and week out. And I love calling the races. There's not a person there that I wouldn't do anything for. David Edwards, unfortunately, is a little under the weather, and I probably need to apologize for last week's broadcast. We both sounded like a couple of mushmouths, both sick as a dog, and still coming and bringing the show to you folks, because there's just not any way that I could see saying no to Rusty and all the guys here at the US Legends Open Series. So glad to be back, feeling a lot better tonight. And it looks like most of the guys have taken time. So I'm going to go ahead and grab looks like the guy that's going to take the pole tonight, Mr. Rusty Modesty, and see if I can't get a word with him. Rusty, hey, this is Ryan up in the ERN booth. You got a copy? Hey, Rusty, this is Ryan up in the ERN booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Sorry, I didn't mean to take you too much, but real quick, you get the pole tonight as a league owner coming into the second to last race, 5 points back from the lead. Tell me what you're thinking about tonight.
Oh, man, stay ahead of Ryan Bean. Stay ahead of Ryan Bean over again.
Well, look, you got a great shot starting out front. We all know these road courses. It has nothing to do with those lap times. Has everything to do with keeping it clean and keeping it on the track. So, man, I just want to tell you it's great to be back. Feeling a lot better this week. Glad you guys are here. Look forward to calling the action tonight. And anything you have to say before I get you back to your team?
No, just keep an eye out for Jerry Culver. He's been practicing in here all week, so I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll keep the eye on it. You get out there and have you a good race, and we'll be talking soon, brother.
Thanks, Ryan.
And that right there was your league owner, Rusty Modesty. Look forward to having a bird's eye view of how this thing is going to take place. And we shall see here shortly, because these boys and girls are gridding up. Let's take a look at a little bit of the race info. We talked about it earlier. Summit Point Raceway from West Virginia. These guys are going to be running a 2-mile track. There will be no full course caution. So if these guys wreck, slide off, self-spin, collect the whole field, there will be no cautions tonight. So these guys are going to have to do their best just to keep all 4 wheels on the track, keep it going, and we'll have to see. We've got 25 laps of jam-packed action, as they say, and they'll be coming to us here shortly. So let's go and throw it up real quick, and we've got our starting grid right here. Rusty Modesty taking a pole. Jerry Culver, like the one he said, that's the guy to watch in the 13. Tonight starting to his outside. Nolan Potter and Andrew Little making up the second row. Third row points leader Ryan Bean and Harold Rothery. Starting in the 4th row in the 7th position, Harold Watkins in the 22. Kevin Zapladell to his outside. So looking forward to see if he's got anything And that is your grid tonight as they start. We'll be going green here shortly. Looking forward to it, folks. I want to welcome everybody again to, as the pace car is off, that means we're going to be going green here any second as Jerry Culver and Rusty Modesty will line up side by side. Favorite styrofoam cup and our nostalgic throwback to Dick Little right behind them here. But right now, top 8 guys in the U.S. Legends Open Series, we're on the way, and green flag is going as you see Kevin Zabladell tailing up the field back there. He knows he was waiting on the rest of the field to crash him up so he can just swing on by. Got it clustered up here pretty good. Jerry Culver making the run. Rusty Modesty on the inside there. They both get through that corner side by side. It's a drag race through turn 3 coming into 4. Right there, Rusty Modesty makes the lead. They get single file pretty quick as Rusty Modesty is starting to get in the rhythm. Ryan Bean makes his way up to second place. These guys, they know how to put on a show. You see Nolan Potter go to the inside, hit that lip right there, gets it a little bit loose, and then gets a little bit of help from the rest of the field coming through, but no major damage. This is a guy that understands and knows road courses well. He'll have no problem getting his way back up front as Jerry Culver has made a spin off track. I don't see a lot of damage to that car, but up front, it's Rusty Modesty relinquishing that first place position to the one that he said he had to stay in front of, Ryan Bean, the point center. This is your points battle for the entire season right here. The number 28 and the 6. These two guys have been battling it out all season long, but Ryan Bean, since he's been back, has been on a tear. Tonight, though, Ryan Bean, Rusty Modesty not letting him out of his sights. Both running nose to tail. Let's go back and see exactly what happened with Jerry Culver in the 13 as he was running up front. Replay shows here. I think he just had it. As they say, too many beans. We're going to take a look one more time. Yeah, just tries to take that corner a little too sharp. Throws it out. The good thing is he keeps that 13 My Little Pony car off any walls. Locks her down, gets it back up, and is collecting back up to the tail of the field. Folks, this is a long race. We have 25 laps of a 2-mile track where they're running minute 30, minute 40 seconds in a lap. So these guys have a lot of time. Jerry has a lot of time to make his way back up there. Ryan Bean, though, all up front, all by himself. Rusty Modesty back there lurching like a hunting dog, just waiting to attack the prey. He is waiting for the man to make a mistake so he can capitalize on it. Now, that's the thing, though. Ryan Bean doesn't make many, but we have seen a few this season. Him and the 47 car a couple of times make it to contact early, and that could happen tonight. Anybody can make a mistake at any given moment. Now, he is the quote-unquote road course king, but he still has to run 25 perfect laps if he doesn't want to get overtaken. You see him right there get a little loose into the sand, a little bit more, and that car would have went sliding, and that is exactly what Rusty Modesty is looking for, is an opportunity for something like that. A little further back, right there is Rusty within sight of catching the 28. Right behind him in third, Dick Little, Andrew Little, in that 68 throwback to his grandfather's Dick's Body Shop. Same paint, same number. Right behind him in our favorite Big League Chew car, Harold Watkins won a few weeks ago, making his way up front as well as he is running third in points right now. 11 points back of the leader coming into this race. There's a little bit of gap right behind Harold Watkins is Harold Rothery in the 4 car. And then back behind him in 6th position, Nolan Potter, we saw him go off track, spin a little bit. He's collected it. He's already made his way back up to 6th. Coming in the back of the field, we've got Kevin Zabledell 17 and 7th, and Jerry Culver right there on his tail. Not out of this yet. None of these guys are. It takes quite a while. If you get off track and you spin just a little bit, you can lose it, and it will take 5 to 25 seconds to regather the car, get it back on track, and get it going again. So it's anybody's race tonight. Somebody can have a 40-second head start on the field and have an accident, go off track just to hit one of those turtles, hit one of those lips. You see those red and white stripes there in the corners. These cars have such a high horsepower, low weight ratio. We've been calling all season long, twitchy, twitchy, twitchy. It doesn't take much to lose control in these. As you can see there on your screen, Rusty Modesty is not too far behind him here. This is going to be a fast race, about 35 minutes, 38 minutes, the way these guys are running. So you see Barney, the flagman up there, he's going to have a pretty boring night tonight, as these guys will have no full course cautions. So this could get interesting if one of these guys running up front that is running for the points title has an issue. Everybody's gapped up. There's a little battle right there between Harold Watkins and Andrew Little. But for the most part, these guys are single file out, second or two in between each other. So everybody's got a safe distance. They just got to keep the car on the track and all 4 wheels rolling in the right direction. Ryan Bean getting up there, got a 3.5 second gap over second place. May sound like a lot, but really it isn't at a road course because you have a lot of opportunities to make small mistakes. And since we know this race is going to go fast, we don't want to get out of here without paying the bills. But don't worry, folks, you are not going to miss a thing because we're going to go ERN side by side. We'll be right back after these words.
Casey's calling me over. Says
The story's on it. Who's
I
that?
have done. I got it. Oh my God, I'm back. Look at this bad boy.
All right, welcome back to Summit Point Raceway with the U.S. Legends Open Series right here on Evolution Racing Network. My name is Ryan Ezel. Welcome back, folks. We've got a little bit of a battle heating up right now between the 68 of Andrew Little and the 22 of Harold Watkins. These guys have been absolutely just hauling the mail. They're both running nose to tail in a little bit different line, as you can see. Andrew's taking a little sharper apex. Harold is taking a little bit wider, but they're both running very similar times. As you see, there's not a lot of gap between these two cars. This is the closest battle on the track right now. Jerry Culver has made his way around Kevin Zabledell and made his way up to 7th position. And I'll get to that here in a second as we're watching this battle right here on the track. These guys are going to town. Let's take a look at a little bit of information about these guys. Andrew Little, as we like to call him, Dick Little, which is an honor to his grandfather. Dick's Body Shop used to run this same car, the same paint scheme, and that same number. And Harold Watkins is all over the bumper. Now, unfortunately, on these road courses, you don't have a whole lot of options on varying lines. So, yeah, there's a lot of corners that are both left and right turns. But to carry the most speed through the corners, you don't have multiple racing groups. As you see, Harold is trying to undercut Andrew on every corner that he can. And it's just going, it's always about getting to somebody and then getting around somebody. As we are already 6 laps into this with only 19 to go, let's go through your field here. Got Ryan Bean from Miami, Florida, favorite Air Force guy. Just got back, had to take a couple of weeks off to take care of some of our the military obligations that he has. So we certainly thank him for sacrificing what he does to bring us our freedom and our protection. So he is back now. Was back last week and this week, but those 2 weeks off has allowed a lot of these guys to shrink that point distance that he had on everybody. He only is in number 1 in points by 5 points coming into tonight. And the guy in number 2 in points is right here, a league owner, Rusty Modesty in the 6 car from Aurora, Illinois, if I'm saying that right. He is about 4.5 seconds back from Ryan. But again, that will be nothing if Ryan Bean makes the slightest little mistake. And right behind Rusty Modesty is this battle we were watching earlier between Andrew Little and that 68 right there from Kakalan, Michigan. Sounds like a bird. Kaka! Probably just butchered that name, but I'm sure he'll let me know. And Harold Watkins from Kalamazoo, Michigan, right behind him here. These guys have been running nose to tail, bumper to bumper since the start of this race. Andrew, this is probably the most nerve-wracking you can be in any position on a road course when the field is spread out like they are, is having somebody on your bumper every single turn just waiting for you to make a mistake. And right behind these guys here, as you see there in your screen, Nolan Potter, our favorite styrofoam cup from Grand Forks, North Dakota, had a little mishap on the first lap, recovered very well, and is making a little bit of ground on that battle for 3rd place right in front of him. And right back here, we see Jerry Culver, one of the favorites. You heard Rusty Modesty say it at the top of the show. Watch out for this guy. He's put a lot of time in, a lot of practice for tonight. Had a small mental mistake going through one of the corners, lost it, went off the track, slid all the way back to last place. A couple seconds back, has already taken 2 positions back and made his way up to 6th position and is running that car looking solid. So he still has a chance to get up there and battle for it. Right behind him in that bright neon green car and that Brian Clausen honor paint there is Harold Routhler from Donaldsonville, Ohio. This is a guy that's been up front in the mix several weeks in a row, doing a good job. Solid place, 7th. Yeah, riding shotgun in your field from my local OKC brother right here, Kevin Zamladell in 17. Coming in tonight, just kind of keeping his distance, if you will. It's like, hey, I don't want no troubles. I don't want to mess with nothing. Y'all call me if you need me. Doing a great job, running in 8th place right now. Go back up to the lead, though, and look at this battle right here. Told you this is heating up. They're either going to make contact or Andrew is going to have to run his strongest mental game he has ever ran in any road course, because Harold is not letting him out of sight for a second. So Andrew is going to he has more pressure on him than even Ryan Bean or Rusty up front. And it's because he knows if he makes the slightest little error in judgment that Harold Watkins is going to be there to capitalize. And this is the difference between having a podium finish or being outside of the top 3. You see Andrew Little is just flinging it, and that's what I'm talking about. It's so easy to drive out of your rearview mirror, and I'm probably the world's worst at it, of driving it in the rearview mirror and worried about what's happening behind me instead of what's in front of me. These two battling out the way they are has even allowed Nolan Potter, that car back there behind him, to start gaining ground on him. He only is 2 seconds back. So this is about to be a 3-car battle here in a lap or so, as we have 15 laps to go, and this is the closest battle on the track for third position. Andrew Little been running the race of his life tonight because he has had nothing but a mirror full of Harold Watkins right behind him since the green flag dropped. That's the type of pressure that so many drivers buckle under. I call it. I'll be the first to tell you. I fold under this pressure all the time. I'm the world's worst at it. Steve and Michael will tell me all the time when we're either running a league race or practice or messing around an official. One monitor. It means I'm always looking at too many other things while trying to race. And this is why right here. See Andrew Little get a little sideways right there. Woo! Gathered it up. They were luckily going slow enough. He was able to pedal through it. But that is so mentally, oh my gosh, that is so mentally hard to get through. Oh, as we see, Nolan Potter was so close back there. He goes off track, slides off, spins the car out. He's able to throw it down in gear, turn it around, get it straight, and get going. He'll maintain the 5th position. But man, will he lose a lot of ground. He was within 2 seconds of that battle between Harold Watkins and Andrew Little. And now he's got a 12-second deficit to make up. And now Jerry Culver's even there. Man, these guys are so close to each other. In fact, let's go on board with Harold Watkins and see just how close it is. We're going to sit here and watch these guys. I want to see. Yeah, this right here would be nerve-wracking. In fact, this is the view I want to see. I want to see from Andrew. Yeah. So, when you see, now they've got a gap, but look how much that Harold outbreaks Andrew, and he just gains all that speed. And then he's just all over the bumper. You see that, just a full mirror load. Right there, he almost got around him, but a full mirror load, a big league chew right there in Andrew. That's got to be so nerve-wracking. As you see, he's overdriving that car just a little bit. And we have a caution, folks, which is odd. But let's go find out exactly what happened here. Back up front, yeah, we see the safety car. The iRacing Porsche 911 GT3 safety car collecting the field. I'm a little confused here, folks. I don't see where anything really went down. But hell, what do I'm just a lonely announcer. You know what? Got that going on. These guys don't know anything, right? Let's just go see if we can find out exactly what happened. Let's see if we can't talk to Ryan Bain. Ryan, he's up near him. But you got a copy.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
What's this yellow thing I see here?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, it's one of these really cool things. I don't know. We threw it just because
Restack the field, huh?
Yeah, restack the field, let everybody learn the track, learn how
See,
it's gonna
folks,
race.
See all of my
Yeah.
millions and millions of viewers out there. I told you.
yeah, it was just the idea, I
No,
just
this
figured.
is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we got a short field today, so just let everybody learn the track, bunch back up, get some fresh tires. Hopefully, we can put on
Now,
a
well,
really
you
good show.
guys, all right, so you'll be doing a pit cycle. Well, I'm going to let you have it back at it, brother. You've been running a hell of a race tonight as our points leader. Coming in, everybody knew that you were a workhorse ace, and glad to see it's happening. Don't want you to miss pit road. So get out there and have a go, brother. We'll talk to you at
Yep.
the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. See you later.
All right, buddy. That right there, that's your points leader. You're right, Steve Kerpel. This thing just did get interesting. Man, tell us what you think of what's going on tonight. Get in the chat right here on YouTube. Get in there. I see Zach Schrittenthal, one of the guys from RSR. Sorry, I'm trying to find. It looks like Harold Rothery said, screw you guys. I'm going to stay out and I'm going to take the lead on this thing. So that in itself might be interesting. see if we can. There we go. Ryan Bean comes off pit road. Andrew Little is going to hop in front and take a position on the pit cycle and take second place. Rusty Modesty third. Harold Watkins fourth. Nolan Potter fifth. Jerry Culver sixth as they come off, but they're all going to be one more spot back. And Harold Rothery right there just said, forget it. If I got a chance to do this, now is the time. So everybody else went in and got fresh Goodyear tires and a couple cans of Sunoco fuel, except for this guy, this Brian Clausen inspired paint, the number 4 of Harold Rothery. Let's see if we can't have a quick word with him. Harold, this is Ryan up in the ERM booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, real quick, what kind of strategy you got going here? You think you're just going to hop the field and hope the old tires hold up?
Yeah. I was hearing what they were saying. They said they had like 91%, so I was going so damn slow right now, so I didn't wear no tires out.
Hey, that's a good move, brother.
Fuel's what I'm worried about. I got 1.6 gallons left.
Well, brother, we'll be watching, and we'll be hoping for you. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you at the end of this thing.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
All right, brother. Have a good race. Right there, Harold Rothery, the one taking the risk. I'm going to call it right now, folks. I don't think he's got enough fuel to make it to the end, but we'll have to wait and see because I don't do my homework, apparently, and I don't know what the size fuel cell they have on these cars. I know it takes quite a while to service them, but we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, though, that 4 car is in the catbird seat. It's got a mirror full of Ryan Bean, Rusty Modesty, and Andrew Little. And that's odd because I saw them come off pit road in a different order. So maybe they froze the field. Hell, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just the guy that sits up here and gets paid to talk too much. I finally found something that my mouth is good for. You know, I always got in trouble in school as a kid. I always got in trouble at work. Told to shut up all the time. I talk too damn much. My wife, she's tired of hearing it after 20 years. But here we are. I actually found something I can use my my talking. Well, shit. Here we go. Let's go, folks. Harold Rothery, Ryan Bean, side by side. Harold is going to have the preferred line, as he's going to have the first and third corner preferred line. So that's where Ryan Bean started the race, and we'll have to see if that's going to hold true. He's going to have a good launch. He thinks his tires are not worn out enough yet, which is fine. Let's just wait and see, because you're about to see that iRacing.com safety car, the Porsche, pull on to pit road. And these guys are about to throw it back under green. In fact, we want to make sure we can see that green flag fly. Bernie's up there. He just thought he was only going to have to do it once. That just goes to show you how much I actually pay attention, folks. They decided to throw the caution and re-rack the field, get it all bunched back up for you, the viewers. You, the viewers of Evolution Racing Network, deserved more. That's what they said, and they said, we're throwing a caution. I'm going to re-rack and stack the field because that is what it's all about. And here we go. The field is racked and stacked. And now I got my 17-year-old son, about to be 18 next week, just walked in with a big old snare drum hooked to him. And the marching band, this ought to be exciting. If you hear a lot of blood splatter, and here it comes. And bones breaking, and a missing 17-year-old from Mustang, Oklahoma. Oh, there he is. He's dead. No, I'm just playing. God knows what we have out there. Somebody might actually call. Yeah. I live in Sawyersville, Pennsylvania. My last name is Kerpel. Yeah. Call the cops on that guy. I mean, me. Yeah. Anywho, safety car's in. These guys are racked and stacked 2x2s, 7 or 8. Here we go. Harold Rothery, Ryan Bean brings the field down that long straightaway. Harold Rothery gets a great jump. Can he make those old tires stick? Ryan Bean is making a drag race. He's actually pulling on him. As you see, Bernie are rolling the flag up there. We're underway with 10 to go. Ryan Bean has got the speed. He's going to outbreak him, and so is Rusty Modesty. Harold Rothery has to lift a little bit. But hey, if he can stay in the top 5, he bettered himself no matter what, because he was back there running in the tail of the field before that caution. So now if he's up front, he can actually put the pressure on himself, run the car faster, harder. And as you see, Andrew Little gets to the inside of him here, so Andrew is going to have the position. But Harold has the preferred line. Oh no, he locks him up and takes Andrew Little with him. Holy cow. And are they locked up? They get unfreed. They both throw her down into gear and get going. We have got to go take another look at that. Holy macaroni. Let's go take a look and see. We saw it live right there. It looked like Harold Rothery had locked up the brakes just a little bit. Let's go take another look from a little bit different angle there. You see Harold Rothery's right there in front of Andrew Little. They're running through. We're watching him here, right here. Andrew gets the run on the long straightaway. He goes to the inside. He keeps it hugged in there. Harold gets a little wide. Harold tries to go, locks the rear up, and it just shoots the car straight, nowhere to go. Let's go back up front and go live. This is where we ended before the caution came out. Ryan Bean 1, Rusty Modesty 2, and doesn't look like much has changed except for the distance. 1 second in between these two guys. So again, Rusty Modesty is just waiting for Ryan to make a mistake so he can capitalize. But the one that has made up the most ground all race since the beginning, made up 5 positions over a start, and came in 7th before the caution. And now that the caution has happened, it's kind of reset, got that car, the crew made the adjustments they needed to, and now he's up in 3rd with a 2-second gap over 4th. It's Kevin Zabladell, Oklahoma City's finest, number 17 right there in that red and black car, doing a hell of a job. Right behind him, Nolan Potter in the 34. Again, these guys are close enough, they're just waiting. I would say the biggest loser, and I say that name loosely, just by finishing positions of where they were before the caution and after. Harold Watkins here has lost 2 spots from the caution. Right there with Jerry Culver hot on his tail right there. Again, Jerry is making a lot of ground up. You see him, he's got a lot later braking point than Harold, so he will make up a lot of ground. Running in 6th, Harold Rothery and Andrew Little right behind him there at the tail of the field after collecting each other on that first restart. As you see, Andrew Little's right front fender and the camber on that car and the caster, both a little tweaked out on the right side. That car has got to be a handful to drive. So he's just going to try to get this thing back. We've got 8 laps to go. We'll have to see. And back up front, though, it's the Ryan Bean Show. That beautiful orange and black Dale Lives inspired paint. Right there with Rusty Modesty within 1.7 seconds back. Doing a fine job, as I might add. These guys are doing a great job. But don't look now, we got a battle right here for 3rd place. Instead of it being Andrew Little and Harold Watkins, same spots, 2 different drivers. Kevin Zabladell and Nolan Potter won 3rd and 4th. This right here is going to be the point where Nolan is going to try to outbrake him, hit the apex sooner, and get on the throttle sooner on corner exit, but doesn't really get the opportunity. Both running very similar speeds. In fact, we can throw up a little graphic here that will show us exactly what the speeds are. And take a look right there. Go on board. This right here is Nolan Potter. We'll go on board with the in-car camera. And you'll see down in the bottom right there, he's in second gear going through that corner. Up to almost 60 miles an hour there. Another quick right-handed and a long swooping right hand. You see Kevin Zabledell gets a little loose. Has to get through. Staying in third gear. Going through. Kevin gets wide. This is Nolan's shot right here. He's going to have to. Oh, no. He has to slam on the brakes. What a camera shot right there. We saw it live right here on ERM as he was in third gear, hammered down. Kevin goes off track, coming back up, and Nolan had a sense, doing a great job of having to hit the brakes hard. If he didn't, they both would have been collected, went off track, spun, just like what we saw with Harold Rothery and Andrew Little earlier. Right after that caution come out, you should see Nolan trying to outbrake. Kevin Zabledell does it, slams it down in second gear. They make contact. Oh no, I think they were both going for the same piece of real estate, but the one that's going to win on this end is Nolan Potter. But you see right there, Harold Watkins, Kevin Zabledell both get around him. Holy crap, we got to go to a better camera angle. I got to watch this thing unfold. As Harold Watkins was just chilling back in fifth position, sees all this action happening up here and says, "Excuse me, boys, I'll be coming through and taking both of your spots." And Harold makes his way up to third spot. And right here, I think there may be a little bit of hurt feelings. Nolan Potter and Kevin Zabledell, these guys are not done yet. As they both come out. Long swooping right-hander. Be coming down the straightaway here shortly after this left-hander. And Kevin Zabledell would love to get up to Nolan Potter, but I think we are going to have to go back, folks, and take a look. I wonder if we can go take a look. Let's see if I know how to do my job at all. Here we go. This is exactly what we were watching right there when we were riding on board with Nolan Potter. He goes into undercut and outbrake Kevin Zabledell. They both go spinning. Kevin was just quicker to get back on track, slam it down in gear and get going. And Harold Watkins was at full speed and said, "Excuse me," split them both and said, "I'll take both your spots, ladies," as he makes his way up to third. But that right there was exciting in-car coverage as you saw it happen live. Now it's teammates for Harold Watkins and Nolan Potter. Nolan was able to get around Kevin Zabledell there, and let's go take a look and see exactly what happened there. See, Nolan Potter, Kevin got a little loose, got in the sand. Nolan had the momentum, and was able to outbrake Kevin right there to get around him. And Kevin trying to do everything he can to get an advantage, but it's all Nolan Potter. Go back live right here. These guys, teammates. I don't think you'll see that much intensive action, as you might say, between teammates. But hell, I've seen worse, I guess. These guys, though, running nose to tail. Kevin Zabledell back there in fifth position, trying to do whatever he can. Let's go check in on, well, hold on. I don't want to miss anything. They got a drag race coming down here on the front stretch as they go into turn one. Nolan Potter, that's where Nolan and Kevin Zabledell collected last time. Nolan very wisely lets up just a little bit and allows his teammate to maintain his position. Now let's go back in and check in with Jerry Culver as he gets around. Oh, wow. Got a little loose there, him with this battle between him and Andrew Little in the 68. Got another drag race here coming down long, swooping. It'll be a quick left-hander right here, and then another sharp right-hander. But Jerry Culver doing his best to try to maintain that sixth position. Right now he's in seventh, taking it sharp, trying to get that corner exit speed. You see they're running just a little bit different line, but Andrew is just able to keep the power to the ground a little bit more. Just got to remember this open setup series. So these guys can set these cars up for the short run, long run. But Jerry Culver right there, in 10th, running in 7th position. Let's go back up front and see what our battle looks like. Got Ryan Bean right here. We're running up front with a 3.3 second gap over the field. Let's go and take a look from the Goodyear aerial view here. Right there, Rusty not letting him out of his sight, still waiting. So if Ryan makes one small mistake, Rusty will be there, folks. Right back there, as you see, Harold Watkins and Nolan Potter right there, the battle for third. Pretty good distance between the two now. They're not running so close. Right behind them is Kevin Zablett down the 17. Andrew Little and Jerry Culver back there for 6th position. That's the battle for 6th. And then behind them, Harold Rothery in the 4 car running shotgun in the field. But up front, it's all Rusty Modesty. Kind of get a good shot from this aerial view of the distance between 1st and 2nd. There's 1st, there's 2nd. So he's not that far back. Still within fighting distance. As we've got the popsicle sticks in the air, Barney just threw them up and said, boys, 2 laps, make them count. 3.5 seconds back for Rusty Modesty over 2nd. This is probably not our closest battle because right there we got teammates. Nolan Potter knows, okay, hey, baby. Barney just told me it's 2 to go, so guess what? Get out of my way. Teammates don't matter no more. I'm going to outbreak you right here going into turn 1. And there's your countdown. This is going to force Harold Watkins to give it to the teammate. He can't go on the inside line like he wants to, so he is forced to have to break a little bit longer. Nolan Potter is able to make the battle right there and get to a podium spot now. That's 3 to go, but don't think that Harold won't give him a little tippy-tap-tap if that means that he's going to go from 4th to 3rd and get a podium finish. That's a battle right there. And then right here, you got another type battle. Andrew Little and Jerry Culver right there is your battle for 5th position. Running nose to tail. Everybody up here trying to get everything they can out of their cars. See Harold Rothery in the tail of the field. You know, he told us right before we went back green, I think he's back here trying to conserve fuel. So good for him, staying, keeping it out there, keeping it on the lead lap. Up front, Ryan Mean though, Rusty Modesty a little over 4 seconds back. Man, if Ryan, all he has to do is just hit his marks because we are now under the Fox Hills Lawn Care white flag. This is it, folks. This is the final lap. The next flag will in the race. Let's quickly go through the field. Got Rusty Modesty in 2nd for almost 5 seconds back. And then your battle right here for 3rd. Nolan Potter currently in 3rd. Right behind him in the 22, Harold Watkins. And then another battle right here. This is 5th position, Andrew Little. Right behind him, Jerry Culver. And then Harold Rothery right there on tail of the field about to cross the line. Right now, though, it's all about Ryan Bean. This is going to get interesting. We'll throw up the graphic here. You'll see their name going solid white as Ryan Bean comes out of the final corner, drag racing down the backstretch, and will cross the line and take the win at Summit Point Raceway, giving a little shimmy, shaking that butt all the way down the straightaway just to let all the guys know, hey boys, y'all want some? Come get it. Hey now. Woo-wee. Boy, what a hell of a race. I'm going to tell you, usually these road races don't have any cautions for the most part. They're kind of boring. And we saw a hell of a show. And just right here, the battle. 3rd, Nolan Potter right there. And Harold Watkins' teammate, Nolan, gets it for the final podium position. And then Andrew Little right here. These guys coming into the last corner. Jerry right behind him, throwing all the power down that he can. This right here is for 5th and 6th. They'll be coming down the straightaway. Nice recovery for Andrew Little. They got collected with Harold Rothery there on that last restart for a nice solid 5th place finish. Jerry Culver right behind him. And then rounding out the field, the guy that has probably been trying to conserve the most fuel to make it. Looks like he will make it on the lead lap, no less. Harold Rothery coming down the straightaway to collect the 7th place position. Right there, you see Bernie telling him, baby, it's over. You don't have to worry about conserving anymore. But right up front, Ryan Bean, as we see it. Great job. Gets the win tonight. Rusty Modesty in 2nd. And Nolan Potter in 3rd. And that, a lot of folks might say, oh my gosh, what are they doing? They're wrecking the cars. No, they're just saying, those are love taps, folks. They're just a little tappy tap, tap, tap. Just say hello. Just say good job. Love what you did with your car tonight. Love the paint. Let me help you a little bit. That's all they doing. They ain't schnoogans, folks. We're going to go. These boys are having some fun after a nice long race. We're going to go pay some bills, and we'll be right back with you, and we will have our top 3 right here, our podium finishers from the U.S. Legends Open Series. As you see them all, they re-rack the field. Before we go do that, let's see what they're doing. Taking a little parade lap right here. We got Ryan Bean, Rusty Modesty, Nolan Potter, and Harold Watkins, Andrew Little, Jerry Culver, and Harold Rothery. That's how the field finished. And, they're taking the jumps into Never Never Land. There they go. See ya. Well, we're going to do the same thing, folks, but don't go away. We'll be right back with your top 3 finishers.
I started Folds of Honor above my garage 13 years ago because 90% of spouses and children of killed or disabled U.S. service members receive no federal education assistance. Our mission has never wavered. We honor their sacrifices by educating their legacy.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to you, I will be a construction engineer,
An elementary school teacher.
Thank you for helping me fulfill my dream of going to med school.
We're able to award these scholarships because patriots like you refuse to turn your back on the cost of freedom. Join the Folds of Honor Squadron today. Your $13 a month will help ensure we never turn military families away. This is your call to duty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the Folds of Honor.
Thanks to people like you, I know my dad is not forgotten.
All right, welcome back, folks, to Summit Point Raceway with the U.S. Legends Open Series. You just got through watching some incredible road course racing. They threw the caution about halfway through for a competition caution, re-racked and stacked the field. Oh, man, we had battles all over the track. Let's get with our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Pater. Nolan, this is Ryan up in the ERM.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? Man, that was some incredible racing, especially there at the end, from start to finish, really, but especially there at the end between you and your teammate, Harold Watkins, where you forced him to have to go wide on that last lap. Hell of a job. Tell us, what's your thoughts on the race tonight?
Well, I mean, I got to apologize to everyone because I hit about everyone and everyone in this race. So, first I got to say sorry to Jerry because I got into Jerry on that restart. I got into Harold and I got together. Zab and I got together. So, sorry to everyone. It was a tight race in there when we went back to the restart, but it was fun. It was a fun time. You know, Ryan and Rusty were about half a track ahead of everyone, like normal. But, yeah, it was a good time. So.
Well, it looked like you guys were having fun out there. You know, there was a couple little incidents that, you know, where Harold Rothery stayed out on old tires on that last restart, locked up the brakes going into the corner. Andrew Little just happened to be the car with nowhere to go. Andrew bounced back to a 5th place finish. Saw you earlier in the race. Actually, we're watching it live when you go off track, low spin, no contact. How nerve-wracking is it when you know you've got a great spot, you're doing good, all you know you got to do is just keep it on the track and keep all 4 tires going in the right direction, have an incident like that, get shuffled to the back, and then have to battle all night long. What is the intensity like?
It's fun, but it's the point, like I said, I spun really early going into like turn 3 or whatever it was, and then get going. I track them back down, and then I spun again. It's almost the point like I just pushed it too hard, too hard, and then it makes you make a mistake, and then you lose all that time you gain back up. So it was rough, but the competition caution brought us all back together, which was fun. I don't know if we're gonna incorporate that again in the road course, but yeah, it was a good time. So it made for a lot better racing. I think Bean might have actually lapped us all if he got to. We just went straight, but yeah, it was a good time.
Well, it was awesome to watch, awesome to call. You guys put on a great show as always. But next week we go to our championship race at Oxford Plains, 125 laps to end season 1 at the U.S. Legends Open Series. So what's your thoughts on that? Are you looking forward to it? Is this track you've raced before? Is this something new to you? What's your thoughts and opinion on next week's race?
Well, the only time I've ever ran this track was in an enduro race on Hosted. So I hope it's better than that. But, you know, if I want to move up in points, might have to rough up my teammate Harold Watkins early on, you know. But we'll see how it goes. So, but nope, it should be fun. I just got to do some practicing this week.
Well, I look forward to watching it, man. Can't wait to do it, and can't wait for next season either. But before we let you go and let you go celebrate with the team, I want to give you an opportunity to give any shout-outs, any thank you, sponsor plugs. The mic is yours, Nolan.
I gotta say thank you guys up in the booth. You guys do a great job. Thank you for Rusty and putting this on. So
awesome. Well, brother, we look forward to it. I'm sure we'll be talking next week.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Well, there's your third place finisher, and I've been joined by none other than my buddy, my good friend, my confidant, Mr. Michael Sheffield. I was talking about him earlier in the broadcast. He probably doesn't even know it. He's probably sitting now going, what do you mean you were talking about me? Well, you just have to go back and listen to it, Chef. Welcome. Glad to have you here tonight.
I know I'm going to have to go back and listen to it now.
Hey,
kind of a scary thought.
All good things, I promise. Just me and the viewers, the millions of viewers that we have. That's all it was. No worries.
I guess I need to get up to speed then.
Well, you missed a hell of a race. We have a lot of action tonight, and we're just about to bring in our second place finisher, league owner. Let's do that now. Let's see if I can find him. He may be already drinking beer in the down in with the pits. Yo, Rusty, Ryan and Sheffield up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, fellas.
What's happening, man?
Man, that was a entertaining run there. I'm not sure what happened to the back part of the field there after that caution, but
hey,
made it easy to cruise, I guess.
Before and after, there was action all over the track. There was a lot of battles. I think the competition caution halfway through made it absolutely killer. It was awesome. We had an absolute blast. Watching the race and then re-racking the field together. I'm going to be honest with you. We expect Ryan Bean to be up front. He's the quote-unquote road course ringer, right? But you did a hell of a job. He never, ever got out of your sight tonight.
Yeah, but he still had it. You know, I there's no way I could catch him. He was a few tenths faster each lap. I mean, damn good driver. Just didn't have it today.
Well, I beg to differ. I know that he was a little bit faster than you, but he never got out more than a few seconds. All it takes, and we saw it so much tonight.
Oh, yeah, one mistake.
One little mistake to capitalize.
He was perfect, though. He was perfect.
Well,
sadly, I think we both were. I don't think any of us had an incident tonight. So
I think you and Ryan are really the only ones that didn't, because maybe Harold Watkins, but Nolan, early incident. Jerry, early incident. Harold and Andrew on that caution restart. Kevin Zab. I mean, so all of those guys did have a bit of a restart or a bit of an incident that had one point or other in the track. There was something that held them back. But you and Ryan ran an incredible race tonight. And I just want to know. I know it's going to come down to single-digit point lead between Ryan Bean and you going into the final race. So what are you excited about next week at Oxford Plains?
I've been practicing this week, Oxford. Luckily, or this past week, luckily it was an official. Got plenty of practice, building sets. I'm gonna hit him hard. I'm gonna give it everything we got.
Well, I think you got a great shot at it. We've seen so many different options tonight, this whole season. This was the 13th of 14 races, and we've raced short tracks, we've raced road courses, so we've had a little bit for everybody. I think you guys do such a great job of putting on a good show for people watching. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out next season or next week.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how close we all are.
I think the top
good
three, top four really have an opportunity. You and Bean, I'm just getting the update. 6 points, brother.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
it. 6 points between you guys, and then another 8 points back to Harold Watkins, and another 6 points back to Nolan Potter. So that is a super, super tight field. So anything can happen, especially at those short tracks. We look forward to it, man. Before we let you go, though, we got to give you an opportunity to give any shout-out, sponsor plugs. The mic is yours.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that comes and races here. This has been an absolute blast of a league to run and participate in. Thank you to you guys, Ryan, and the ERL group, ERN group. Fantastic broadcasters. Love racing with these guys. And thank you to Sherry Culver. I know you're watching.
The number one fan.
We love you.
Yeah,
So-
Sherry's here. She's always here.
I love it. So I appreciate you guys, and look forward to a lovely season in battle next week.
Absolutely, and we look forward to all the announcements coming out about next season, which we'll get to
Yes, sir.
later on. Enjoy your second place finish tonight, and good luck next week. We'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Sheffield right there, second place finish in good spirits, but I did not realize the points battle was going to be this close. But they literally posted that up as we were talking to Rusty there. 6 points, 8 points, 6 points, 11 points.
That's gonna definitely crank up the intensity next week for sure.
Boy, you ain't lying, because
These guys are gonna be busy in the shut up shop this week.
Oh, I'm telling you, because with an open setup like this and these little short tracks, everybody thinks it's just everybody, putting on the same car, same setup. Oh, no. They'll be spending more time, money, and effort trying to find an advantage over everybody else. So it's going to put on a really good product next week. You just have to wait and see. But right now, we have our number one finisher tonight, the guy that took home the W, Ryan Bean. Ryan, this is Michael up in the ERN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
What's happening, brother? Another victory. I don't think anybody's really shocked that we're talking to you tonight as the winner. But one thing I will say is you better not make a mistake next week, because Rusty was just as flawless as you were tonight. Just didn't quite have the speed. But, man, if you made one minor mistake, he was going to be there to capitalize. So I got to give it to you first for running a flawless race all night long.
Yeah, thank you. Tonight was completely different from all the road courses earlier in the year. Rusty coming into tonight, man, he had the track figured out. I got to thank him. He kind of gave me actually some setup tips and a way to work the track, and I kind of just worked on it from there. But I knew he was going to be a threat tonight, and really getting in front of him on that first lap was important to me, because I felt like I could. It was going to be hard to pass, I thought. He ran perfect tonight, which means I had to run perfect. I don't think I had any mistakes. He didn't either, but we were just a little better.
Well, you guys, you really looked good. Everybody, it really was a one-groove track. We would see drivers get close to each other and run a nose-to-tail, but just couldn't make the pass. We saw that with Nolan Potter and Harold Watkins and Andrew Little and Jerry Culver. These guys were putting on some great battles there at the end, but unless you literally just bulldozed your way through a corner or force somebody to go wide by having the preferred line. It was extremely hard to pass. So you're absolutely right there. I do love the fact that you guys did that competition caution, re-racked the field. The outcome was pretty close to the same up front, but it really put on a lot of battles towards the back.
Yeah, that was really the main thing. I kind of, I kind of realized that me and Rusty it was going to be either me or him winning the race, but that midfield battle was really good. Everybody was starting to figure it out, and everybody was being equal, and they were all spaced out a lot there. So I just figured, let's throw a caution, help you out in the broadcast booth, give you a really good show, because those guys certainly know how to put on a show. So let's bunch them all back up and just get fresh tires and figure the track out.
Well, I'm going to tell you this too, is, we not only got to see some great battles, it gave an opportunity. We got to see somebody throw out a Hail Mary strategy with Harold Rothery staying out and, with very little fuel. But he said, with everybody else rattling off their tires, he's like, man, there's no way I used up that much. See, it didn't quite work out in his favor, but at the same token, that's the kind of stuff that makes these races so much fun to watch. But shifting gears to next week, we have the championship race, and you are literally in the lead with only, and it's crazy, 7 wins this season. You've won 50% of the races, and you had to take 2 weeks off to go take care of your military obligations, but you only have a 6-point cushion over Rusty Modesty. 125 laps at Oxford Plains. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just, if you're looking from the outside, you think, man, maybe this guy just doesn't want to win the championship. But it's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be elbows out, and it's gonna be nerve wracking. But I think it's gonna be super fun. Rusty's a hard racer. Me and him race really hard when we get near each other. We'll go out and practice and run side by side, and it almost always ends in contact. So I'm not saying. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying it's going to happen next week, but I think there's going to be, if there's room there, it's only a car length, and you better be perfect. So it's going to be fun. I don't know. I think setup's going to be key. So I'm going to actually I'm going to put in a lot of work on this one, because this winning this league would mean a lot to me.
You called it, Chef.
Oh yeah, I knew it's going to be a lot of time next week.
Be busy this week.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns. My setups have gotten me really far this year, so they can do whatever they want. I am not sharing my setup this week. It is not happening. We are a closed shop this week.
That was going to be my next question. Is so who's going to be in your setup shop with you, helping you out? Well, I think that's probably going to be pretty much the question or the answer that we get from most teams this week, especially in the top 5 in points, because you guys are all very, very close. Well, Ryan, before we let you get out of here, man, to go celebrate with the team once again, we want to give you an opportunity to give any shout outs, sponsor plugs, thank yous. The mic is yours, my friend.
Yeah, first off, Sherry Culver, she's in the chat every race, biggest fan. We love her support, and we're hopefully we can put on a good show for her next week. Potter County Diggers, all the sponsors for the league, good on them for sponsoring this league. I think they realized how good this league is, and I think they'll hopefully jump on board next season. And you guys up in the booth, man, y'all are amazing. Rusty for this league, all the guys racing in it. And then lastly, I want to thank Zab for showing me the speed this week. I was really racing his car, and he really let me have this one, and I really appreciate it.
Well, awesome. Well, brother, I'm sure we'll be talking to you next week. Look forward to it. Have a good night celebrating tonight. We'll be talking to you soon.
Yep. Have a good night, guys.
All right, buddy. Well, stand by, folks. I almost did a boo-boo. Yep. That is, it's always a good thing when you move the wrong person. Well, folks, that right there was how the field finished up tonight in your podium. But right now it's time to go take a look at how the entire field finished up. We are throwing up the results right now. Got Ryan Bean, you just heard from him. His 7th win this season out of 13 races, so he's won over 50% so far. Rusty Modesty in second. Nolan Potter squeaked out a third-place finish over his teammate Harold Watkins. Andrew Little covering after a late race problem there with Harold Rothery to a solid fifth place. Jerry Culver fighting back to sixth. Harold Rothery seventh. And Kevin Dabladell in eighth position. And that is how the field finished up tonight from Summit Point Raceway. Sheffield, I know you weren't here for the entire race. You got to hear the interviews. What are you looking forward to watching this season come to a close next week at Oxford?
It's going to be a lot of tight racing. You know, the guys are going to put everything, you know, especially on the line next week. You know, it's good tight racing there for, you know, you saw the battle between, you know, Harold Watkins when he was able to squeak by, you know, with that slide by with that incident. I got laughing. I said, he's really working that big league too tonight that was on the back of his car. So, you know, great battles here tonight. So, you know, road course racing, it can get where it gets a little long drawn out, but I mean, they really were battling really hard tonight.
Yes, they were, and I really look forward to next week as this season one comes to a close, folks. But don't worry, your favorite duo, US Legends Open Series and Evolution Racing Network, are in negotiations right now to come back for a second season. Stay tuned. We'll try to have all those details with us next week as we come right back here to our YouTube page at Evolution Racing Network and tell you all about it at the championship race next week from Oxford Plains. 125 laps with these guys. You heard from three of the best. Going to have a stacked field next week, and everybody's a little hush-hush on their setups. I love to see it because this should put on some incredible tight action from flag to flag. Don't forget, tomorrow night, head on over to our Facebook page at Evolution Racing Network and check out the RSR Cup Series as these guys head to Kansas to the Midwest and have a little fun on a 1.5 miles tomorrow night at around 8 o'clock. And then Thursday night, our very own Michael Sheffield and Craig Burns will be heading with the Thursday night throwdown and doubleheader ARCA and trucks. And Sheffield, is that the championship race this Thursday?
This will be the championship race for both the ARCA and the trucks. Got some tight points battle there. They'll be in Richmond, so it's going to be entertaining.
That is going to be a hell of a race, folks. Make sure you come right back here on our YouTube page at Evolution Racing Network to check out the long seasons coming to an end for both ARCA and trucks for the Thursday night throwdown doubleheader with Michael Sheffield and Craig Burns in the booth. And then next week, we will be right back here for the US Legends Open Series Championship race from Oxford Plains. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Sherry Culver, as always, thank you for your support. Steve Kerfell, wish you could have been here, brother. Loved all the comments from you and Jerry and Zach Schrenthal and Sherry. Make sure you come back next week and check out these guys for their championship race. And make sure you subscribe, like, follow, hit that bell. Make sure your notifications turn on so you know every time we go live. Until then, make sure you guys have a great week, and we'll be talking to you soon.